What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So we have a lot of stuff to talk about, right? And I want to preface this video in saying one thing. I want to keep this stuff chill, right? I don't want you guys in the comments screaming at this version of WoW, screaming at this version of WoW. We all want classic WoW to succeed at the end of the day. That's why we make this content. That's why we talk about these things in hopes that Blizzard can see this stuff and put it to good use, right, in the future for whatever they're working on. But right now, there's a lot of stuff going on that I want to talk about, and I think it's really important, right? So we've had the release of Mists of Pandaria Classic. We've had pretty much the death of Sod over the last couple of months. We're going to talk about all of this stuff and kind of talk about where I think everything is headed, and really at this point, there's almost no choice. We have this mass exodus of everyone going and playing old school RuneScape. Turns out it wasn't just a 2-week flavor of the month type of thing. People are really playing and enjoying the game. So I want to talk about why I think all of this stuff is happening. Also, the numbers came out for the raid logs on Mists of Pandaria Classic. We still have the raid logs for Anniversary going on. I'm going to compare all this stuff. So we're going to just dive in and kind of freeball it and talk about everything here. And again, I want to make sure you guys understand that I make these videos because I love this game and I want it to succeed. I don't want to down any version of the game, and I wish that everyone was still playing Classic instead of old school RuneScape. So without further ado, let's dive in. All right, so we're here in Stranglethorn Vale just walking around. The first thing I want to bring up with you guys is the giant elephant in the room, that the numbers have come out for Mists of Pandaria Classic raid logs over on Ironforge Pro. You can check them out for yourself. I'll link it down in the description. We're going to bring this over onto our screen and take a look at it real quick and talk about why I think certain things are the way that they are. So let's pull this over. We'll share this. We'll pull this over real quick. Boom. Okay. We got to kind of make it so that everyone can see it. We'll just do it like this. Okay. So I just want you guys to see right here. Okay. June 4th through June 10th, 2024. This was the first week. May 28th through June 3rd. Sorry. First week of Cataclysm logs, about 209,000 players logging. The second week, we're at 298K, which is 300K log is pretty damn good, right? We're not hitting those peaks of Wrath of the Lich King, but we're almost hitting where TBC was. We're pretty close, not far off, right? And then obviously it tapers off as the expansion goes, and you guys can see that even since the beginning, this is the trend. This is how it goes. That's completely normal in an MMO. That's not an indication of it dying or anything. There's just a lot of hype on launches, and then it starts to go down. Now, the first week of Mists of Pandaria Classic, we're at 157K raid logs. Okay. So we didn't really hit that peak of where Cataclysm was, right? We're about 40K off, a little more maybe, give or take. And I want to talk about the reasons why I think this is. But I do think it's important to note that, let me bring over the Anniversary logs, okay? Now, the Anniversary logs are going steady at around 84,000. Everyone thought that when Encourage opened and people were raiding AQ, this would drop to like 40, 50,000 raid logs and then come back for Nax and then obviously come back again for TBC pre-patch. Simply hasn't been the case. People are just raiding AQ and they're happy with it, right? They're going steady at 84K. So currently for this week, Mists of Pandaria Classic is beating Anniversary, but it didn't seem to beat Cataclysm in terms of popularity and in terms of people raiding. Now, I think in Cataclysm, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments with this, we had to wait a week before we were able to raid. In MOP, they gave us 2 weeks. So the argument of that there was not enough time to hit level 90 to be able to jump into this raid definitely doesn't exist here. There was plenty of time, even though the leveling did take forever. So that's not the reason why. So I want to talk about why I think this may be happening. But I do want to just make sure really quick. Yeah, okay. So Cataclysm Classic opened on... The first raids opened on May 30th. Yes, so I'm correct. So it was 1 week in Cata. Okay. So Cata beat MOP first week of raid logs. Maybe MOP will be higher next week. I have a weird feeling that it won't be, and I'm going to explain to you guys why. Now let's take a little bit of a stroll through Stranglethorn, one of the best zones in the game. And you guys have probably seen in the past couple of weeks that people have gotten that survey talking about, and specifically talking about after Mists of Pandaria Classic ends, how interested are you in each of the following progression options for Mists of Pandaria, realm characters, blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to go over all of them. People have made a million videos on this survey. If you want to watch, look at the whole survey, go check it out. But the most important thing here is that one of the options was to transfer your characters to retail/modern WoW at the end of MoP Classic. And I think that people still, after I've been preaching about it since the beginning of Season of Discovery, don't realize how detrimental this is to the health of an MMO, especially Classic WoW. When you are basically telling people there's a chance that this is going to end, it just deters a lot of people from putting the time in to play that version of the game. I think that that is a major, major reason why a lot of people maybe did the leveling in MoP, maybe even did one raid lockout, maybe did their heroics, their dailies, or whatever. There's a lot to do. And then they were like, you know what? If this isn't even going to go to WoD, or if this is going to end, or if they're not even sure what the future holds at this point, they keep asking the player base, I'm not even going to bother because I'm not enjoying this that much, whatever. Right? Now, on the other hand, there's people who are really enjoying it. I know people personally that are really, really enjoying MoP. I'm kind of indifferent. I'm in the middle, where now that I've done the raid on 10-man and then I've done it on 25-man, I do think the raid content so far is really fun, and apparently, like, this isn't even as good as it gets, right? I do enjoy the raid. I am enjoying it. I'm raiding with a guild. That seems to be really, really fun to raid with. Did I enjoy the stuff before that? Not really. I didn't really enjoy the leveling. I thought it was extremely long, drawn out, boring, tedious, way too much RP. The heroic grind was fun for the first couple of days, but the fact that you need to do it now every week to get your Valor cap kind of gets old really quick to me. Dailies, not a big fan of those. Look at this guy. Don't you dare, bro. Okay, we can walk together. Yeah, not a fan of pretty much everything that I've done in MoP so far, except for the raid. I do think raiding is really fun, and it's one of my favorite things to do in World of Warcraft. So if you're someone who enjoys good raiding in WoW, especially WoW Classic, I definitely suggest checking out MoP. I think it's a good time. I'm playing Shadow Priest, and I'm loving it. It's the first time I played a Priest in 20 years of playing WoW. If this guy ganks me, we're just going to take rest sickness. Or kill him. But either way, the point of what I'm trying to say is that there's a lot of reasons why this could be happening. Now another major reason why this could be happening is the fact that right now there's this mass exodus of all the WoW streamers, mainly the streamers, the Twitch streamers, not really the WoW creators on YouTube, going and playing OSRS, right? It's clear as day that a lot of people are playing. A couple days ago, we saw a post that OSRS is record-breaking numbers currently, 220,000+ people jumping on OSRS. So that could definitely be part of the reason why these MoP numbers are down. I would imagine that if all the big WoW streamers over on Twitch were playing MoP, at least for the first month, then obviously those numbers would be a little bit higher, right? Even if they had like a 10% conversion rate each, we'd probably be hitting those Cataclysm numbers. Let's just call a spade a spade. That's pretty much what it is. But there's a bigger thing going on here, and the reason why this is all happening. And I think that reason is that it feels like most classic WoW players are done. And I want to also say this is not a doom and gloom video. This is actually a happy video. I think we're at a really, really important point in the history of classic WoW right now. This is like where I feel like things are going to start to pivot into the right direction, and we're going to hopefully see a bright future for this game that we all love, that I still love. And a lot of people do too. I think that there's a lot of burnout within the community currently. People are burnt the hell out. We've been playing vanilla WoW over and over again for 5 or 6 years. We're currently in MoP on the progression realms, and MoP is at a point where it's a little bit far away from that classic WoW experience. It's kind of right in the middle of classic and retail is how I would put it. So it's a little bit far away from the classic experience for a lot of people that, that doesn't really interest them. And it's too close to retail. But the thing is here, I think right now is a time where Blizzard is probably sitting back and watching all of this go down. Everyone going to play OSRS. There's a million reasons why people are going to play OSRS. There's so many videos out there. I'm not going to get really deep into it in this one. If you want to go watch what I think is one of the best explanations of it, Mad Season just put out a video a couple days ago. Go check it out on his channel. Really good explanation of why people are going to play OSRS. Do I think OSRS is a better game than WoW Classic? I don't at all. I think they're two completely different games. I think both of them have pros and cons, and my heart still lies in WoW Classic. That's never going to change. The game has been a major part of my life, and I just want it to succeed. Does that mean that I haven't considered going and trying OSRS? Of course, and I might still do it. But I don't think it's a better game. I think that people are just burnt out right now, and OSRS is offering something that people have been asking for in WoW for a really long time, and that is just permanent progression in the game, right? A permanent classic server that receives updates, that receives new content, where people can keep playing as the years and years go on with no indication that it's going to end anytime soon or pretty much ever. That's what people want. And I don't know if you guys remember, I'm not going to go back and put it in this video because that'll be so troll, but if you go back on my channel, I was making videos about this in SOD Phase 2. I was saying this is so great. Like, this is such a great experience. It's a lot of fun, but I'm having trouble convincing some of my other friends to come play it because it's seasonal. They don't want to sink hundreds or thousands of hours into an MMO that they know is going to end. Now, SOD was an amazing experience, whether you liked it or not. It was. We hit record-breaking numbers in SOD 2, especially in Phase 1. It was a fantastic time. It was amazing. And I can't help but wonder if SOD wasn't seasonal and if all these other 900 versions of Classic didn't exist and they could put full Classic team development time onto SOD and making it a permanent thing, it would have been massive. It would have been huge. I don't think it would have died the way that it did. Okay? Because realistically, think about it like this. The second that they put that post out talking about SOD not receiving content updates anymore in the future, SOD not getting any of this stuff, the game just died. You know, and I know I'm going to get a few people in the comments saying it's still alive, it's still whatever. Yes, I know there's still a few people playing, but there's 5K raid logs, okay? The game is dead by all measures, every metric. It's lower than Classic era at this point. So yes, it is dead. You know, whether you want to agree with that or not, yeah, maybe you're still raiding with a guild or you're joining some random pug, but the game isn't growing. And if the game isn't growing, in my opinion, it is dying. Okay? So that is where SOD is at. And the big thing that people have been advocating for and talking about, saying that they want permanent Classic with updates and things. Everyone is so sick of resetting their progress every 12 months with the next expansion. They're so sick of resetting their progress every just always constantly resetting your progress. And I get why Blizzard does it, and that's how WoW has been built. But this is a chance for them to do it right when they do something like a Classic Plus in the future. We know it's going to come, whatever it's going to be called. I think that they really, really need to pay attention to this and make it so that this game can pretty much go on forever. Because Classic has now shown that even 20 years in the future, the game can be loved and played and profitable for the company and everything. Okay? If it's done right. Now, that is why all of these people are going and playing OSRS, because OSRS offers them permanent progression. You can play the game for 2 months, come back, take a year off, come back, and all the stuff you did, your progress is still relevant to some extent, and it's not completely wiped. In WoW, if you take a year off, you miss an entire expansion in Classic at this point. And then you come back and you just do a bunch of quick, rapid catch-up mechanics. It feels like a very hollow experience. You know, it's just people are sick of it. It worked for a really long time, but I think that, you know, everything goes full circle, right? Everything goes full circle. The reason why WoW grew and was so popular back in the day is because nobody knew where it was headed. Nobody knew if it would ever end. And it didn't. It went into retail. Maybe you don't agree with retail and how it's designed now and how it's played, which is very seasonal. But that's okay. But back then we enjoyed it because we didn't know where it was going and where it was headed. Now, I think that Blizzard sending all these surveys and things out is really a good thing. I think it's amazing. I think they're really trying to fish for what is the next move, what is the right decision, what they should be doing. And I think it's an indicator that they are trying to understand the player base, trying to listen, and that they may be moving in the right direction, right? I think it's very possible. Now, on that same survey, we're talking about the possibilities of, you know, basically what that survey was saying is that, like, WoD Classic might not happen, right? Now, there's some people out there that would say WoD Classic would be a great idea. Other people are like, nah, WoD Classic sucks. I don't want it. I think personally that it would be kind of a fun experience, especially if it was sped up. But nonetheless, if the numbers are going to keep going down every expansion, like we saw, right? I could see why Blizzard's like, you know what? Maybe it's time we pivot from this. Maybe they give some mop era realms. and also let you transfer your characters to retail if you want to, you know, convert to retail. I can see people that are into MOP actually going and converting to retail players because it's very, very close in terms of like the amount of content there is to do, the way that the content is done, you know, doing the heroic dungeons. Basically, when you do dungeons in MOP, you are just pulling 100 mobs, you're spam AoEing everything down. It is what it is. That's just how it is. I don't find the game very rewarding outside of raiding. I love the raiding, but I'm someone who hates doing dailies. I cannot just spam heroics on repeat and AoE everything down. Like, it feels very, very, like, brain dead to me. But there's people who enjoy it, and I understand why. I'm going to continue playing and doing all the raid content. I really enjoy that a lot. Raiding is one of my favorite things in WoW. But I do think that there's room here for Blizzard to maybe make some changes, right? I think that moving these anniversary realms into just a regular old TBC is going to be hype for like a month or two, and then we're going to kind of see the same thing that's happening with MOP. I'm not going to, you know, I'm not going to say something that I don't believe, and TBC is my favorite expansion ever, but the problem is we just did all this stuff. I think TBC Anniversary is going to have higher numbers than MOP in the beginning, but inevitably they'll both meet the same fate, which is halfway through the expansion. I think they're going to be on the serious decline because people are just burnt, man. People are burnt. People want something different, and we just keep getting relaunches of the same game over and over and over and over and over again. And I really do love this game, and I'm thankful and grateful for the community that I've built here on YouTube and on Twitch. You know, this has been so much fun building this over the past 2 years, and I have no intention of stopping. You know, we're full speed ahead pretty much forever. You know, whether that's continuing with WoW forever, if we start getting stuff that I can actually make content on, or something else. You know, maybe we do eventually check out old school RuneScape if WoW really starts to dry up for us. And maybe we find some love there, and if not, maybe we find it in another game, right? I do play other games. Off stream, I play Rust, I play Tarkov. I'm a big survival PvP shooter player. Really, the only MMO that I actually ever have interest in is Classic WoW. Not a big MMO gamer outside of Classic WoW, and those of you who know me or already know this. So we'll see where the future goes. Right now, we're going to continue covering WoW and whatever else we find fun in the near future, right? We have a pretty dead time for WoW outside of raiding in MOP Classic. Now, this is another thing that I want to talk about that a lot of viewers and just regular players, you know, they don't seem to understand. Hold on. I just woke up and wanted to have this talk, so I need to finish this coffee. The fact that we've gotten to a point now in WoW Classic with MOP where I'm going to be real with you guys, it's not good stream content. Okay, and what I mean by this is it's more interesting to watch someone level in hardcore or level in anniversary and world PvP or do anything like that. It's more interesting to watch that on stream for viewers than it is for MOP, right? So this could be another reason why a lot of creators have gone over to old school RuneScape. Watching someone play MOP on stream is just, it looks like retail. It's like trying to understand and watch a retail arena. Okay, the raid is just very flashy. There's a million spells going on. There's pinging from DBM, all this shit, loud techno, blasting. It's not a good experience for viewers. You don't really get to connect with your audience, and I've noticed this myself over the past couple of weeks, that personally it's just not good stream content unless everyone in your stream is there to watch you do the raid and you're like some pro player or something. So that could definitely be a reason why. I've found myself in the past couple of weeks watching a lot of OSRS content just because I find it kind of relaxing and it has this, you know, a nice like cozy vibe to it. You can kind of follow along with what's happening. Yeah, it's boring, but for some reason it's nice to just keep up on your other screen, right, while you're working or doing something else. I think that plays a major role into it as well. But I do think that at the end of the day, it's as simple as OSRS is on the up right now. It's been growing for years. The numbers are growing. The viewers are growing. The players are growing. So there's clearly more money there, right? So let's call a spade a spade. If you're a content creator and you do this for your job and you actually find the game fun, why would you not play OSRS? Nobody can blame anyone for doing that. Because Classic WoW has been on the decline. It's been on the decline for years and years at this point. Since 2019, it's been going downhill. Well, really since Wrath, it's been going downhill. Wrath Classic. So, and there's no indication that Blizzard is doing anything different in the near future. Maybe we'll get an announcement soon, maybe at Gamescom, who knows? But, you know, for some people who do this as their job, it makes perfect sense. You wouldn't, you know, if this is your business, why would you put all your eggs in a basket that's on fire, right? It makes absolutely no sense. So from that aspect, if you could look at it like that, I know you guys are viewers here watching this, look at it from that point of view. The people who are out there that are mad that everyone's playing OSRS, you have to understand that people do this as a job. Now, I'm not saying that it's all for the money. I do truly believe that these people that are playing OSRS really are enjoying the game, because I've been watching all of them and they're making me want to try the game because it looks good. I've talked to some of them and I might still try it, but I just want to try and cancel out some of this negativity that I've been seeing in my comments of people just raging about people playing OSRS. Like, dude, chill out. People just want to have fun, man. People are just enjoying themselves. They want to have fun. And OSRS is offering a lot of stuff that WoW Classic isn't currently, so you can't blame anyone for jumping ship and playing it. Does it mean they'll never play WoW Classic again? Maybe, but probably not. Everyone eventually comes back. I'm sure if there was a Classic Plus announcement or something, everyone would be back on WoW for Classic Plus, right? It would be huge. But I'm just worried because it's so far away, if that makes sense. Like, it's really, really far away. You know, we have to go through all of MOP. We have to go through we don't even have TBC anniversary yet. That's going to be another whole year at minimum of that. And then you have people wanting TBC era servers. Are we going to Wrath again? We want Wrath era servers. I think we're just at a point where Blizzard needs to grab this shit by the horns and just stop giving all of these versions of WoW. I think that they need to cut out most of, if not all of these versions of WoW, leave a couple of Era servers, maybe for Era, TBC maybe, cancel all this stuff, and full speed ahead on Classic Plus. If I was Blizzard, I would cancel all the plans in the future currently and be like, you know what? We need to get this Classic Plus stuff going. We need to get this out and work on it and get it out, because, you know, this mass exodus of WoW Classic isn't the first time that this has happened. This has happened before in the past. Look it up. But it definitely is going to be an impactful one, and it already is showing to be impactful. To not reach the same numbers as Kata on the first raid lockout for MOP with an extra week of prep time is a little alarming to me. I thought the numbers were going to be higher than Kata, and I advocated for that the entire time, and they're lower. And I do think a lot of it is because of the migration to OSRS. I do think a lot of it is just people being burnt out. I think a lot of it is the MOP experience was super, super hyped up. And then when people got in and actually started playing it, you know, aside from the problems at launch, it was very buggy, this and that, but that's a typical WoW launch. Like, if you're a WoW player, you understand that that's a thing. Nowadays, that'll just always happen, and you just kind of expect it. But it's alarming to me. It's a little scary, and I think that Blizzard really needs to grab this by the horns. And here's what I actually wish. I wish that Blizzard would really communicate a little bit more and involve their content creators, because I don't think that they realize how much influence content creators have over who plays the game and how many people play the game. I mean, if you look at how many viewers were watching WoW Classic, you know, 2 months ago that are now watching OSRS, it's you know, it's kind of scary. And I think that if Blizzard worked with the content creators on this kind of stuff a little bit closer, and we really tried to speed up this process of getting WoW Classic players and the community what they actually want, I think that there could be a super bright future for Classic. And even if that doesn't happen and they're just working on stuff in the background, I think that there really is a bright future for Classic. And I wanted to make this video because I want to try and cancel out some of the doom and the negativity that's going on. And I don't know, man. It's just a lot of negativity surrounding WoW. Everyone's bashing the game and OSRS is better, blah, blah, blah. And then you got other people in your comments saying that it's a sellout. Everyone's playing it for money, this and that. No. Most of these, if not all of these people playing OSRS are not getting paid. It's not a paid ad. For anyone who doesn't know, if you're getting paid to play a game, it needs to be visible somewhere on your stream, in your video, in your title, your description, whatever. And if you don't see that, they're not getting paid for the game. It's against the law, okay? Right? It's, you know, this is not legal advice, by the way. I'm just saying that is the rule. It's kind of crazy to see how big of a rift this is causing in the community. And it really upsets me because I truly do love this game, and seeing everyone so upset and so angry, either one way or the other, it's kind of grabbing me, man. It's upsetting. You know, that's why I haven't posted a real video in like 7 days, because I'm like, man, I don't even know what to talk about. Anything I talk about, I get both sides in my comments just going off the rails. And I want to urge everyone here to step back and just, you know, smell the coffee. Here, take a smell. It smells really good. Just chill out, bro. Chill out. It's not the end of the world. Classic is going to come back around. It always will. It always does, especially if Blizzard does the right thing, which I think they're going to do. They're not stupid. They know what they're doing. They are working with some weird timelines here. I think that there could potentially be a lot of damage done with how long it's taking to get what we want. But I think that an infinite amount of time can pass, and when they launch a Classic Plus, people are going to come play it regardless. I could be wrong. That's just how I feel. I mean, I still love this game. I know a lot of you out there do too. And I want to urge you all that if you are caught up in all this negativity and this doom that's happening in the community right now, and you still love the game and you still want to play it, stop watching the content. Stop talking to people about it and just play how you want to play. If you want to go play Anniversary and level another character and prep for TBC because you're excited for it, go do it. If you want to go play MOP because you're excited and you want to experience those raids, which are awesome, by the way, go do it. You know, don't just get off the internet is what I'm trying to say. Because if you ignore all the negativity in the community, WoW Classic is still WoW Classic, still a great game, no matter which version you're playing, right? So I think that says a lot, that if you ignore all the outside noise, you can still go and really enjoy the game if you want to. And if you don't want to and you're burnt out, that's okay too, right? There's no reason to rage about it on the internet. Just log off, unsub for a little bit, go play OSRS, go play whatever. Battlefield beta starts tomorrow, Battlefield 6, right? I'm going to be playing it. Like, there's tons of other stuff to do, especially coming up on the second half of this year. There's a lot of stuff coming out that's awesome. Arc Raiders, Battlefield 6. Like, I'm super excited for Arc Raiders, as I'm going to be playing the hell out of that. And I'm definitely going to be checking out the Battlefield 6 beta over the next couple of weekends, right? So I just wanted to tell you guys my thoughts and opinions on all of this. I think that it is reparable. We can fix all of this. Blizzard, I think, is probably in the process of it. They know what's going on. They see everything. They watch some videos. They see what's happening in the community. But really, this video was more for you guys. I wanted to give you guys some clarification and understanding of why all this stuff is happening to the best of my ability. And I could be wrong too, but I'm just analyzing it from the outside here. Took a step back and looked at all the numbers and looked at everything going on and trying to figure out why it's happening. And this is my best reasoning and why I think it's possibly happening. I don't think it's over forever. I think if you still enjoy WoW, play it. I think if you want to go try OSRS, go for it, or another game, whatever it is. If you're feeling burnt out, if you're negative, listen, I'm going to put it this way. If you're feeling like leaving a super rage-filled comment on someone's YouTube video, whether it's mine or some other classic creators, that to me is an indication, dude, don't even leave the comment. Just close out, get out of the internet and go play a game that you love, bro. Go play Minecraft, Rust, whatever it is. Go play a game with your friends and just vibe out. And then in a couple of weeks, a month, 2 months, 3 months, whatever, when you're missing classic WoW again, come back and play. It'll still be here for you. You know what I mean? I am trying to make a shift here where, and it's hard to do this because this channel has lately, since there's not really new content coming out. When SOD was out, I did a bunch of guides. I'm doing all stuff like that. But when there's no new content really in WoW, all we have as creators is to talk about the news or updates or this or that or why this is happening, why this isn't happening. So you have to understand that as well. Once we get Classic Plus and all this stuff, my channel's most likely going to go right back to what the roots were, right? Doing guides and all. I love making guide content. It's one of my favorite things to do. Figuring out how to do something efficiently and sharing it with you guys and making a quick video, like that's my thing. And I can't wait to go back to doing that. But unfortunately right now, that's really not, we can't do that. SOD was cool because everything was unknown. So there was plenty of that to go around. There was a video for every single new thing in SOD because nobody knew. And it felt amazing. So eventually we're going to get back to that when we get Classic Plus or whatever. But yeah, it's hard to avoid the controversy and the negativity and the positivity. You're always right in the middle when you're doing like news or like vlog style content like I'm doing. Like basically my WoW content has now become, since there's no new content, I do kind of like vlog style content where we just go over numbers, we talk about why things are happening in the community and yada yada yada. And it's great. I enjoy doing this too. It's kind of like a nice open discussion that gets started with everybody. But just wanted to make this video to kind of cheer some people up that may be down in the dumps, you know, and try and axe out some of this negativity, man. The community is becoming extremely negative and toxic. And I know like WoW, especially classic WoW, has had a super, you know, MMOs in general have like this tribalistic community where it does get really toxic and people defend their game or fight the game or whatever. I think that everyone, if you're burnt out and you have the urge to leave that comment that's super ragey or whatever, just step back, bro. Go play a different game. Come back when you're ready. Everyone's here to have fun. Everyone wants WoW Classic to succeed. Nobody wants it to succeed more than me, I swear. And just vibe out, man. Let's just try and have good vibes in the community going forward. I think it would speak volumes if everyone could do that, and it would go a long way. And I know that's a long stretch, but it's possible. It's possible for us to start feeling a little happier. Whether something's here that you want or not, definitely just try. Instead of getting mad about it, just stop playing for a little bit and come back when you're ready. But anyway, follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/hammerdance. Follow me on Kick, kick.com/hammerdance. I multi-stream on Twitch and Kick every weeknight, Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And that's about it. Like the video, subscribe to this channel if you love WoW Classic as much as me, guys. But thank you all so much for watching and listening in. I'll see you all in the next one.